Hello, for this time we will talk about OAuth2 authorization code flow for third-party login. For original login flow, we usually use membership or core identity, but there are many companies follow OAuth portal, which is more secure and common. For example, we could involve Microsoft login, Facebook or Google login into our existing project to avoid implement as identity provider, and end user can use their existing account to log in our application without to create a new account. First, let's check the portal diagram. From this picture, you will see this is a Microsoft Identity Platform. We will take Microsoft Identity Platform for an example. OAuth2 is a common portal. Microsoft, Facebook, and Google will follow the same portal. So let's just discuss with Microsoft. From the left side, you will see this is a native app, and the right side is a web API. Maybe is your web application or web API or another service resource. Now you need to secure your web API with OAuth2. You will follow this portal. In general, with Microsoft Identity, we may need to support a personal account, so we will use this endpoint, which is common. If you only want to provide Microsoft login for your own company, you can try this URL with your own company tenant. So let's follow this picture to check the full flow. First, for native app, it will pop up a browser dialog, which is used for any user to enter his username and password. And then Microsoft Identity Platform will check the username and password. And then if the user is successfully authorized, the end user will return an authorization code. This is authorization code will use to request the access token, which is used to access result later. So you would, after end user get the authorization code, they can send a request with the authorization code, app's client ID, and other required fields like client secret, scope, and green type. Then OAuth2 endpoint will return the access token and refresh token. After the native app gets the access token, they can call the web API with the access token in the authorization header, and the web API before access web API. In general, for the REST path, this is not related with our this talk, but I will just describe it for you to make for OAuth2 portal. This is a web API resource, which is the Microsoft's resource, like a Graph API or anything else. The Microsoft will validate this token, and if your token is valid, it will return the date to the app, which is request this. And after a short period of time, if your token is expired, you can request that a new access token with the refresh token, client secret, and other fields. After the OAuth2 token endpoint check your refresh token, then it will return a new token with a new refresh token. Then you can call the results with your new access token again. For this talk, we just follow above this flow, which is used just to identify the user, which means check with the user who is the user, whether he has the permission. Okay. First, before you use OAuth2, you need to register your application in the platform. For Microsoft, you will need to register your app in the app registration page. And if you use Google or Facebook, you will need to register your app in the corresponding platform. Let's check the registration page. When you register an app, you will need to register redirect URL. For the redirect URL, it is used for the identity platform to decide which address to return the access code and access token. So if you check this drop-down, you will see there are two options. One is web and another is public native client, maybe desktop like UWP WinForm, or mobile like Android OS and WP. So you can say I have this demo. This one is for a web application, and this one is for a native application. Here is one important need to note. You need to identify whether you need a web redirect URL or native redirect URL. For web redirect URL, you will, when you provide the endpoint, the web browser will redirect the user to the Microsoft login page, and then after this successful login, Microsoft will return back to your page, and you can define the endpoint to handle the request from Microsoft to get the access code and access token, and then you may consider save the access token in the backend access token and refresh token in the backend database to use them later. For a native app, you will need to you may consider use the native web browser to access the Microsoft identity page, like just this address, or you may provide a dialog which will able to access the web page, like in UWP you may consider web view, or in WinForm WPF you may consider a web browser control. So let's walk through the workflow Makefile demo. Here I provide two scenarios. One is for web app code flow, and another is for native app code flow. There are some difference between them. One is the scenario because web app is for web, and when you request for the access token, you must provide client security, which you could get it from the app registration view. But for native app, there is no need to provide client security. You just need the code, which is returned from the endpoint, authorization code endpoint. First, let's check a web app, and we will check the parameters. You will see this is a Microsoft authorization code and authorization endpoint, and then this is the client ID, which you just response type is a code, and the redirect URL is your own web page. Currently, we use the localhost for a test, and the response code is query. Scope is which you just need resource you need to request, maybe OpenID, user personal information, or user read to read user information, and the state is just a placeholder to store your personal information, and the Microsoft Identity Provider will return it for you directly. So let's enter it to our web browser. After entering your username and password, you will see you get that it will redirect to this address with a code, right? With this code, then in development, you will need to replace this localhost with your own website with define an endpoint to receive this code. To receive this code as a query parameter, then you can request for test. I will share you with a postman. Currently, I have filled my client ID, scope, redirect your grant time, and client secret. Now I will replace the code with a new code. In general, the code is a short life, maybe 5 minutes, and can only be used once time. And then you can send with a postman, and you will say you get a token type, scope, expire access token, and then refit token. Now you will be able to know the user has successfully signed in and you have got access token, right? So now let's talk about native app. For native app, you will need to send your request in client app. Remember, do not use it in a web browser. If you use it in a web browser, you may receive unexpected results. You will just see it is unexpected results because here is unnecessary information. Okay, so you need to in general you may request your native code from UWP, WPF, or WinForm. Currently, I will show you with UWP. For this UWP, we will provide this is authorization code, this is redirect code, and this authorization code I have provided scope, response client ID, and redirect URL. Now I use the web authentication broker, which will open a new window for us to enter the credential information. Let's start. Okay, click. Now it pop up a window which will connect to the Microsoft login page, and then we need to enter our personal Microsoft account and password. Now, after check the result, you will see it is stated successfully, and the result is this, and you will get this code. This code, then we can use this code to request. Then we can use this code later to replace it and get our access token. Again, we just make a test with Postman, replace this code. And if you check that for this window, it is a web request for web app, and you will say I need to provide a client ID. But for this is just a native app, and then we do not need to provide the client secret, because for native side we could not grant our native we could not grant our client secret is reliability. So let's send this request, and we will get the same result like token scope access token from the response. This is the overall code flow for authorization tool. For website, there is no much information to provide. It's just a request redirect and provide endpoint to handle the code and access token. But for native side, we will need to provide a window for us. As you see my demo, currently I just use the web broker to provide a window for us to request a Microsoft page and then get the access code. But this is not the end. In general, after us request the code, we will also send the post request to the Microsoft to get access token. In the later talk, I will share a common way to send this request and send this request, get this code, and replace and request the access token with code to get the certificate token directly. And I will provide a window for common. I will provide a window for this requirement. Here are something resource maybe you can use later. One is OAuth2. OAuth2 is provide auth window for Xamarin, which you could use iOS, Android, and UWP. WebAuth Breaker we have already used, which will provide a window for UWP security. And here is a full demo, which is provided from Microsoft. For Microsoft login, you can use mlcell.net for simplify the workflow, but keep in mind that this is only support Microsoft account. You can't use it in for Google and Facebook. Later, currently I'm implementing an OAuth client, which will help us to simplify the build the authorized URL, get the authorized URL, get the token with the code. Later, if it is complete, I will share with you. If you have any problem, please contact me through the right bottom image with email or QQ or web chat. Thanks for your listening. See you later. Bye.